traditionally the county has had the luxury of having a print shop to print notices. Mm-hmm. Well, the county closed the print shop and laid off those print shop workers. So the next logical step is to outsource it to a real print shop. Personnel board precluded the county from entering into any type of outsourcing contract due to personnel board rules. So it left all the departments in limbo of how to do printing. So we basically took 3 employees and we printed 375,000 notices ourselves. It took a lot of man hours, a lot of volunteers, and a lot of time. That's just part of the issue. The issue also is what transpired that generated these notices was an IT glitch, an IT misfire. Has nothing really to do with our department. It's an IT issue. It's in the new software of a new system that the state of Alabama supplied to the assessor, the collector, Board of Equalization. They've been working overtime to get it ready for this tax season. And a lot of times when you expedite a project, there's not a great deal of time for Q&A. And sometimes things get left on the table. We did run trial notices several times. Am I correct, John?
Absolutely.
3 times or 4 times?
And we have a series of notices, test notices that come out. We have 7 different classifications of notices. And we had test notices in every single class that we went through and checked for errors, and there were no errors on any of those. But when you're dealing with a size of 375,000, even a small representative sample, it's easy. I mean, this is the first time we've ever had any type of glitch like this.
So our IT person says, who is Lisa Muse. There's 2 ladies. Lisa Muse, she's housed up in the Board of Equalization. She's our primary IT support person. Second one is Lisa Mays. She is housed in the IT department. They think that the system self-generated just a little notice on 1 or 2 parcels, then it followed a trail kind of on its own. And it's certainly not on every notice. It's just on every, we don't know, every couple of hundred, every couple of thousand. There's no way really to know. But, you know, based on the volume of calls that we've received, we're assuming it could be in the thousands. What do you think?
I wouldn't think it would be that many. I wouldn't think. It's, I mean, it's tough to say. We've got about 5 phone lines coming in, and we had a couple hundred people here this morning. And so when you're looking at the size of, as far as how many notices go out and the amount of feedback that's coming in, of course, you know, every one of these instances is important. We want to treat it that way. But as far as, I think, for the overall volume of it, I don't think it's significant statistically.
So you think it's in the hundreds?
I think so.
Still, that's too many.
One is too many. Absolutely.
But the bottom line is that we really don't know how many people are affected. We don't know if it's hundreds. We don't know if it's thousands.
If there were thousands, we'd have a line going out to Lynn Farm.
Because we've been periodically mailing the notices, and as soon as we get them printed, we'd print some up, and we've been mailing them out for what, 2 weeks now?
Due to the print shop being closed, we just to get the notices printed, it took over 5 weeks from 8 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. 5 straight weeks just to print all these things. And then it took us that many, I think it was another 4 weeks just to get them in the envelopes, folded and stuff. Organized and you know, sorted with the post office to be able to be mailed out. So when we're talking about, you know, 7, 8, almost 2 months just to get these things out.
So
and what do these notices actually say?
They are the statutorily required notices that go out to every assessee of record in the county, whether it be homeowner or business owner, and it states that the ad valorem amount that is due to the county, which, you know, they're embedded in that, or school tax dollars, fire district monies, municipality monies, state of Alabama monies, health department monies, all that. That's what we collect for. It's kind of an issue. The way we see it is, when you compromise positions and you experience layoffs and you try to warn the public and tell them what's coming, problems like these invariably will come. You cannot have repercussions. I mean, it will happen. You'll have repercussions if you compromise the quality of the labor pool in certain departments. I can't speak for the whole county, but I can speak to our department. At one time we had 40-something employees, and now we're down to 17. We do the best we can with our people, but we're doing functions like printing that really we shouldn't be in the printing business. That's just you know, a poor skill set, resource deal for us to try to do. And but we done well with it. I mean, we didn't have any problems with that part.
And that's part of the issue is that the people who normally be answering phones are stuffing envelopes. And so if you're having issues coming in, we only have a small labor pool here. And so that's a
So
big
bottom line, what you're saying is that by Jefferson County continue to have to downsize government, these are some of the unforeseen issues,
Ramifications.
The
IT department has been hit very, very hard. They used to have 4 or 5 people that would service our department, the assessor and the board. We no longer have that luxury. I mean, we have really 1 person, sometimes 1.5, to perform the IT functions of 3 departments, which is a tall order. Implement 3 new systems, maintain the old system in revenue. It's really a tall order.
But the misinformation is an IT.
It's an IT glitch. It's an IT issue.
How are you guys trying to get word out to the people that are impacted? Are you having to wait for them to come to you, or is there a way for you to trace it back and notify them by mail? Or
See, the records themselves are correct. So in other words, if we went in and started doing searches, everything that we pull up on our system for any parcel, you know, anybody's business taxes, home taxes, residence, it's going to be accurate. So there's really, the only thing that's incorrect is what was printed out. And we're not sure which ones were correct, which ones were not.
So in other words, the only way for you to know is for somebody to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, we've
and
been.
you can notify them whether or not there's an actual issue there.
We've heard of 1 or 2 up until today, and that was last week. And 2 were employees. I got 2 calls last night. Worked on that till late, and then this morning is when early this morning we started receiving just numerous calls from our commissioners, constituents, friends. And we've been really on the phone lines. We've been putting out emails the best we can to, but first of all, we had to get a grasp of how pervasive it was and the causes. And the ladies in IT have done a good job of trying to track down what the problem is.
So should people just ignore those lines? Do all of them say the same thing? Prior your tax lien on this parcel purchased
Yes.
by investor. That's the line.
That's the one line that it's a data field that populated itself. Just happened, huh?
Code against the computer code.
Okay.
Because a lot of this stuff, it was a data dump as far as all the old data from the prior system dumped into the new system. And so sometimes there's some data conversion errors, and a lot of times that's what it is, because that's actually a valid statement that would be on some notices, the ones that say actually were at the tax sale.
So the only way for me to know if that is a valid statement on is that I'm gonna have to come by and check.
Well, no. I tell you, think about it. There's ways you can tell. If you know you paid your taxes last year, I mean, you're fine. I mean, if you really know if you paid your taxes last year or not. If you didn't pay them, you've already received numerous statutory notices to that effect.
This year, it started in January.
This year, I mean, starting back from January. So, and 2, more than likely your taxes would have doubled, have gone to a different classification. So, when we explain this, your taxes didn't double. You did pay last year. So then it only applies to a really narrowly defined class of people, and then we're talking in the low numbers.
But they would have received notice. This would not have been a shock to them. They would have been getting prior notice.
Oh yes,
They
yeah.
had about 5 notices.
Okay.
So basically, if this is the first time you're hearing of this, you're shocked because you open the envelope and you see that line.
Right.
Chances are you're fine.
And 2, another issue historically, we've been able to send postcards out, and people were accustomed to seeing postcards come with their tax amount. This is the first year we've gone to the envelope system with a letter that accommodates the scan lines on the new remittance remote capture system. We had to do that. And so people, they're seeing, hey, we got a letter from a tax collector, which we've never gotten before, which looks a little different than historical notices that we have sent, and that may throw people off a bit as well.
So should people be worried about this?
No, you should not be worried about it. It's just if you paid your taxes last year, there's no cause for alarm. There's no cause to worry. It's just
your mortgage company pay. Because I mean, mortgage companies, we deal with mortgage companies from all over the country, and they pay
all in escrow and pay it out of there.
yeah, exactly.
So if you do have a question, if you've got a mortgage company, contact your mortgage company and just double check that they actually paid.
And then most people, usually when they file their taxes, a lot of times they'll use the interest or the tax for.
Yeah, usually you get another statement.
Absolutely. And so if you've already filed your taxes for 2011, which most people have, unless you had an extension, you've already included, you know when it was paid, you've already submitted proof to your accountant. So a lot of this, I mean, it's just a little bit of a retread as far as that goes. But usually there's been 4 or 5 different times when it's been verified that the taxes have been paid.
JT, let me change the way that we're looking at this.
Sure.
All right, so there's multiple people that are confused about this. You have these letters that have gone out. How has this impacted your office, I guess, regarding the amount of man hours that you're going to have to work to deal with this?
Oh yeah, without question. Our the scope has, at least on this day, the scope of our duties has changed significantly. Instead of me dealing with mortgage companies and taxpayers and closing attorneys, I've been putting out fires all day long from concerned constituents as to what transpired, how it transpired, how to prevent these occurrences from happening again. And I try to explain the historical origins of the IT department and the print shop, and people don't understand when you lay off people from this department, it'll affect their unintended consequences. It affects another department and then another department, and so this is called the law of unintended consequences. And when it hits, it hits. And
will your people be here later tonight, answering phones later than usual?
We'll try to stay a little while longer. We're trying to rein in overtime expenditures. We don't have a large budget, and our budget gets hit every year, so we're doing the best we can. I've spoken to several media outlets, hoping this just to arrest any panic or alarm, and and we're talking newspaper and y'all guys, and we appreciate y'all's help. Appreciate y'all putting this out there, but it's not as pervasive as it could have been. I mean, it could have happened on 375,000 notices. We could have, yeah. So we're grateful that didn't happen.
You guys got anything else?
No, I'm good. That's good.
Thank you, Jason.
Oh, thank y'all. We appreciate it.